Good morning, guys. It's Chris from daxtrader.co.uk. It's Monday, the 31st of July 2017, and this is the Dax Technical Analysis. So we've just done a webinar with the guys here, so we're going to do a summary of what we discussed this morning. Okay, so it's the last day of the month, so let's find out whether or not it's going to be a boring, slow day or whether we get a little bit of volatility. But as far as trading action goes, we are pretty much already at the month low. As far as targets are concerned, we could perhaps retest the lows from Friday, maybe look to complete this measured move from this extension, which we've drawn out here on this daily chart. So we had the A and the B here, and perhaps a CD could be there, which allows us a target on FXCM of around about 12.20. And that would be a good opportunity to perhaps take a long back up towards a retracement before maybe even continuing with this overall bearish technical trend. Still making lower lows. We've made two at least. But with this lower low and this lower high, this next lower low here, we're still currently bearish below this level here. So in the short term, looking for a retracement, we're kind of reaching a bit of an exhaustion on this move down, potentially. So I'm looking for a pullback, and my area for a pullback is going to be the underside of the previous support, which is there. This kind of level. We've tested it once already. I'd like to see a retest before a continued move down. That's what I'd like to see. Alternatively, I'd like to see a long from around here, back up towards that 12. It's probably gone too far. On futures, the number is 336. 12336. It's a good level. All right. So pretty much overall, technically we're still bearish, but I'm looking for a bullish retracement before shorting from slightly higher levels. I think shorting from current levels is not going to be the best option. I don't get the best reward to risk. I'd rather wait to see somewhere nearer to that high here. From I think that was Wednesday. Okay, on the 4-hour chart, we've got this bearish fork here. We've got the A line that started at the point of ignition on the 20th of June, and it's got a couple of touches on the way down. Cuts this bit of price action about 50%. Your B is down here on the 30th of June, and your C is on the 17th of July. And price respected the levels, came up to test the median high parallel high, or I think you'd call that, and then came down to touch the median line, and that was a move of about 400 points, which is just unbelievable. Probably would make most people's month. We've then since created this kind of support line here. We've touched on that on Friday, and again, that's an interesting level to watch to see if it holds. Close to this level here, we had a bit of a pocket from back in April when we touched and tested the 12,000 level, so that might be an interesting target for bears, but at the moment not a huge amount of interest to the downside, as we've already made the majority of the move, I think. So pull back before lower levels, in my opinion. That's what I'm looking for, at least. Okay, 5-minute chart. We've got a Bollinger Band strategy here, which is one that I used to use. I've made it mechanical, built the algorithms and the indicators to alert me to this, and the strategy is very simple. Once you've broken below a Bollinger Band, if you get bullish divergence, a break back inside the Bollinger Band opens up an opportunity to move back towards the median line. And in this particular case here, this is a 2 standard deviation, 2.5, 3 standard deviation. We have bullish divergence here. In fact, you could even say that there's your lower lows, higher lows. Get back inside the Bollinger Band. Target's going to be the median line. Okay, we've already taken out the first standard deviation already, despite the fact that it was starting to decline. So that was an opportunity that's interesting. But again, based on that, I'm really ideally looking for it to kind of get above the median line up here. That's kind of what I'm wanting to see. As far as the ATAS software goes, love this software. If you haven't got it already, go and get it. I'll put the link into this software in the video. You can get your free demo, go and download it, check it out. It's great. Now, we're actually at the moment trading inside the initial balance of today's range. And that's just based on the first, I've actually put it for the first 2 hours of trading. And we've had quite a balanced start. We've gapped lower, found the low within the first hour, broke to the highs, and now we've started to retrace back towards the middle again. And it's almost a nice sort of symmetrical pivot, if you like, based on the amount of time that's taken to get to where we are. So a break above the IB creates an interesting opportunity to go long. So I'd be looking for something along this lines where you get a break higher, comes back to test, might even look to break below back inside the range, which would allow bears to short, and that sees us a trap to go and take out high levels. So that's one opportunity. Would you go straight long from a break above this? You could, but I'd probably want to wait and see that hold before I would do that. And of course, you've got VWAP that you could look at as a potential bouncing point if we break above the IB. To the downside, if we break below, that's interesting because that would suggest that we are now going to go out and test this. And if that level holds, it's a good opportunity to go long. But if it doesn't, then perhaps it's going to look towards the psycho level at 12,000. As for a potential ranging day, if we don't manage to break outside of this range, then we will probably, bounce inside there, and you can simply sell from the highs and buy from the lows. And it will be a sideways trading day, which is always a bit of a risk at the end of the month. So that's kind of what we're looking at. So as far as the bears are concerned, looking to sell from higher levels, probably towards 335 or a ranging day sell from the top. Okay. As for bulls, they're probably looking to buy from the current levels, or even just a little bit lower to test the lows from last week, or of course a breakout above the IB if we manage to hold above VWAP, for example. Okay. So a couple of things to look out for today, but just be aware that it's the end of the month. There are a couple of high impact releases at 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock today, so check your economic calendar.